Beats Planet.
If you dress up for Halloween but you make fun of cosplay nerds, then you phony. What's happening, man? Let me get a quick sound check real quick. Make sure everything's everything. You dress up? Yeah, I got the double voice on. Hold up. Hold up. Everything. You dress up? Yeah, I got the double voice. Hold on. Let me fix this damn double voice. Hold up. Yeah, I know. Hold up. You dress up? Yeah, I got the double voice. For real? Hold up. Yeah, I know. There we go. Hold up. That's it. That's better. Listen, man. Like I said, like I was saying, you can't dress up for Halloween and make fun of cosplay nerds. That shit is the same, man. All right. Anyway, listen, man. This is the second live stream in 2 days. I'm not tired. I'm not tired at all. You know, day job ain't bothering me. I got the energy to pull this thing off because if I ever get hired by ESPN one day, I'm going to have to do this. So don't worry about it. Hey, you know, I can do this. Listen, man, the trade deadline was today, 4 p.m. Eastern. That's like 3 Central or something like that. And it just started happening. It just started pouring in. People's Bleacher Report started going crazy. Let me just take time out to say, a lot of people, you know, don't really care about being first in the chat box or the comment section, but a lot of people do. You know what I mean? They do care about being first. Jimmy Antoinette, you was first, fam. Salute. Patreon, super chat, platinum caller, Jimmy Antoinette. You was first, fam. C Money, what's happening? Blasphemous TV, what's happening? Matt S, Nick Gashler up in here. Voch came in the clutch with 2 live streams. Hey, man, you know. Evan Shaw, James Strain, what's happening? Hey, Miss Jackie Smith, how you doing? Jalen was good. David was good. LJ Saints fan. What up, LJ Saints fan? Go check out that Marshawn Lattimore video I did a couple weeks ago. Gavino was good. All right, cool. Peep this out. Cowboys didn't do anything like always. Hey, man, that's going to happen. So anyway, we're here to react to the NFL's trade deadline, okay? Because baseball is terrible. Even when they show the baseball highlights, baseball is terrible. You know what I mean? I don't even plan on being here for a long time. Ryan Vergara says, howdy. What's happening, Ryan? So if you got a good look at the thumbnail or whatnot, you see some Jed Jai up there. You see some Kelvin Benjamin up there, Marcel Darius, Dwayne Brown. A lot of moves were made. You know what I mean? So if you want to call into the show and give your spiel, okay, you might be a Mad Panthers fan, happy Bills fan. Mad Texans fan, happy Jags fan. I forgot the combinations already. Might be a Mad Bills fan, happy da-da-da. You know what? Whatever you feel. Whatever you feel. I want y'all to call in and talk about it. 515-739-1285. 309-104 is the access code. That is on the screen for you. Okay? That's the first way to get into the show. I can promise you will be heard if you get in through the phones. If you don't want to you know, like if you don't have just, you know, minutes or whatever your phone works by or whatever. If you don't have any nice and weekend minutes or whatever, you can hit me up on my Snapchat. Drop a video or an audio situation on my Snapchat, Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI, and I'll play you through the microphone. Don't send me a message on Snapchat because you can do that through the chat box. I'll get mad. I'll ignore you. But if you run the audio, I'll put the phone up to the microphone. I'll let you work. We've done it before. You can get in touch with me through Super Chats. If you want to, you know, drop $5 or something like that to get your comment first, you can do that. You can do whatever you need to do. And after all that's done, that's when I'll scroll through the chat box and and see what y'all saying or whatever. So with that being said, let's react to these trades. You can talk about any one of them, and I guess when the calls and comments get slow, I can give my personal opinion on it. You can also call in and talk about Jimmy Garoppolo going to the 49ers if you happen to have missed that live stream yesterday. A.J. McCarron could have been a Brown, whatever y'all want to do. All right? So peep this out. We got non-intentional grounding Daniel. Non-unintentional grounding Daniel on the phone. He's the first one. What's happening, brother?
What's up, man?
Holding it down. Vodoski. Go ahead.
I want to talk about this Browns trade and this Panthers trade.
Let's do it.
Quick. The Browns trade, this perfectly exemplifies why this franchise is incredibly stupid. Because that was going to be a stupid trade, and they kind of screwed themselves out of screwing themselves, which is just mind-numbingly dumb, but also ended up working for them. Because, let's face it, even if you think A.J. McCarron's going to be better than whoever they have, he's not going to be good on that offense. He's just not. They do not have enough talent for anyone to be good who is not like Aaron Rodgers level.
True. If you don't mind me asking, because maybe you have the answer, and because I could just be an idiot. What do people see in McCarron? Like, what has he done?
I mean, he was okay filling in for Dalton a few years ago, like in early playoff rounds or something. Like he to be fair, he wasn't bad, but I mean, whatever. I still wouldn't trade it for him, especially with their scenario. But he has shown a little bit.
Okay. What do you think about the Carolina trade, sending Kelvin Benjamin to the Buffalo Bills for a third, and a seventh or something like
Third
that?
and seventh, yeah. Third and seventh.
Right. What you got on that?
All my friends who are Panthers fans, they're all freaking out, and I'm like, that's fine. I mean, 2015, our best season ever, pretty much, was without him. And as soon as he came back, and that may not necessarily be just because of him, but still, like, I feel like when he's on the field, Cam zeroes in on him, whereas when he's not on the field, Cam's forced to sort of spread the ball around a little bit more, and I think that actually results in a better offense. And especially when we have a guy like Devin Funchess who's similar and, in my opinion, faster and a better route runner, you question why the hell do we have this guy on the field when he's making Cam make poor decisions.
So are you about to jump on that Curtis Samuel wagon? So is that kind of what's going on here?
I don't know if necessarily it's going to be Curtis Samuel, but the ball will be spread around more, and with a combined effort, the slack will be picked up and possibly superseded. Because honestly, I don't think that KB as a presence is an overall positive on this offense.
Okay. I dig that. What else you got for the show before I move on to the next caller?
That's about it, except for just like the Browns need to stop going after quarterbacks until they actually have a place for the quarterback to be.
True.
Because this is just going to be ridiculous where they keep getting quarterbacks and keep wondering why they don't work out when they have no offensive talent.
I've been saying for the last couple of drafts, really, mostly this draft when the Browns had a whole bunch of first round picks. I was like, man, build the house first. Get you a solid running back. Get somebody to throw the ball to. They've paid for an offensive line. Okay, that's cool. Let's just get those guys working together a little better. Then go get you a quarterback. But when you draft a quarterback before the house is ready, Deshaun Kaiser is struggling throwing to wide receivers that don't get separation, and Isaiah Crowell is struggling. Duke Johnson is the better back to have. I mean, it's just a rough situation in Cleveland, man. Get the best guys first.
And the sad part is that Corey Coleman has shown some promise, but he keeps getting injured. Like, Kaiser wasn't bad at all with Coleman on the field, but he got injured in like week 2. And
True.
What are you going to do at that point? You then either this is the thing, though. When he benched him the first time, okay, he has no offensive talent. That's fine. Okay. Just let him, chill and not get his confidence ruined by having to throw to nobody. But then to bring him back on and bench him 4 different times, this is just stupid. Make up your mind. You're going to ruin this guy's career who has actually shown you something and has potential. It just seems like Hugh Jackson's scrambling for something to save his job, even though he says that the owner's fine with it. I don't understand what he's doing.
Yeah, me neither, man. Nobody understands, man. You can always chalk that up to the Browns going brown. Hey, unintentional grounding, Daniel. Thanks for calling, man. We about to get into these other two phone calls because they're very important. Appreciate you, fam.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Let me take off my thinking cap real quick, because sometimes you just got to sit back and listen. Let me just take off my thinking cap and put on my pimp hat real quick. Carolina Pimp, what's good, baby?
Big baby, what it is?
Man, I'm holding it down for the Doski, Woski, and the Peasky Whiskey, trying to drop these bows like Dusty Rose, you know?
I feel you, man.
What you got for the show, man? Go ahead. Talk to me.
Man.
Nah, you a Carolina Panthers fan, so you let go of Kelvin Benjamin for a third and a seventh, man. How do you feeling right now? What's your temperature over there?
Yeah, we let him go for a ham sandwich. We didn't get shit, man. Listen, I understand there is some redundancy at the position. You have 2 6'5" wide receivers, and neither of them make a lot of separation. I understand that. But at 5-3, you're gonna downgrade talent on your football team,
Right.
and not let Cam Newton have a number 1 wide receiver. See, now everyone's understanding what we here in Carolina have been knowing for years now.
Right.
And shit around Cam Newton. He doesn't have a Julio Jones. Hell, he don't even have a Jordy Nelson.
Right.
Okay, and on top of that, our offensive coordinator is hot trash. There was a GoFundMe page that raised $1,700 to fly an airplane around Bank of America Stadium with a banner that says, "Fire Mike Shula." That's our bullshit offensive coordinator because he's terrible. Curtis Samuel has all the potential to be a Tyreek Hill, but our bullshit coordinator don't know how to use them and doesn't get them involved. It's just terrible, man. I'm not happy about it. I mean, I'm trying to look on the bright side. You know, we didn't have Benjamin in 2015, and Cam was balling out, spreading the ball around. But at the same time, man, you have to have another superstar around Cam Newton. And the fact of the matter is there isn't one. We sold that man off to Carolina North up in Buffalo for a goddamn ham sandwich.
Jimmy Antoinette in the chat box said Kelvin Benjamin ate the ham sandwich, so I'm sorry to hear that, fam. Hey man, you know, a third and a seventh round pick, man. I mean, I don't know how to feel about the pick, man. Like, if I was a Carolina Panthers fan, I might be upset because, I mean, Kelvin Benjamin is a weapon. You know, he is a jump ball red zone weapon. And if you just got 2 jump ball red zone weapons, fine. Just play matchup with them. But I don't know, man. Y'all got rid of him and shipped him on to Buffalo. So I hope y'all draft pick pans out. Do you have any type of closing remarks for us, fam?
I mean, shit, I don't know, man. I'm all up in my feelings right now. I ain't even gonna lie to you, Voch. I don't know how to feel because I feel like we're missing a deep threat. And they were saying that T.Y. Hilton might have been available, Jarvis Landry might have been available, and I feel like you have all these other football teams like the Seahawks and the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know, they're all in, man. They're trying to win this year. And it doesn't feel like our front office is trying to do the same thing. And that's fucking disappointing. Because we have a lot of talent on this football team, and they're wasting a championship defense and a transcendent quarterback. And I don't know, man. It don't feel right, man. It don't fucking feel right. But keep doing your thing, man. I love the show. Falcons are still a bullshit football team, and we're still going to beat that ass this Sunday. Peace and love. We out there.
Take it easy, Carolina Pimp. Hey, man, y'all want to know something real funny to do? Once the live stream processes and it goes out for on demand or whatever, fast forward to when Carolina Pimp calls in and turn on the subtitles and see what YouTube thinks Carolina Pimp just said. Oh my God, it's hysterical. It's hysterical. Moving on down the phone lines, man. We got we got Adam. What's up, Adam? What you got for the show, man?
Oh man, I got a lot today. So I really like listening to that guy. He always sounds super fucked up, and it's just a good time listening to him.
That's the best part, man. That's the best part. But
yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
I mean, okay, so I've got a few things. I'm a Niners fan, so I'm gonna be talking about Jimmy, but got all sorts of stuff. I'm gonna be talking about the Browns. I'm gonna be talking about the Panthers. Gonna be talking about a lot of different things. So first of all, I'm thinking like, okay, why are they trading Kelvin Benjamin away? Because my friends and I, we call Devin Funchess the Funyuns. Mm-hmm. And we haven't really liked the Funyuns very much. This year he's been better, but it's a lot of blown coverages, a lot of him being wide open,
right,
and him catching touchdowns with his large frame. But I mean, I don't think he's quite as talented or as clutch as Kelvin has been for them. So it's kind of confusing. So I'm going through the website Over the Cap, which kind of analyzes how much cap space everybody has here, and so it seems like, I mean, I don't understand why they did this when Jonathan Stewart is basically costing them $7 million a year. And so if they cut Jonathan Stewart next year, considering he's going to be like 30, and they can probably get like a fullback to do his job.
Right.
I mean, it's not going to really cost him too much. I mean, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, Kelvin's current cap cost is like $1.9 million, and they know they're going to have to pay him like 12 or more. And I think that's probably what this is coming down to. It's going to be a cap issue because they only have $4.8 million in cap space right now. They want to maintain that defense because it is playing extremely well still, and I think that's really where a lot of this is coming down to. But, I mean, you can always find somewhere to cut. And to cut your best offensive weapon, especially considering Greg Olsen is, 33? Yeah. I don't think that's a very good idea. But I really want to take a look really quick into and analyze when have the Panthers been successful over the last couple of years. And if you're going by PFF grading, if you're going by just historical analysis, you could see that when they were successful in 2015, it was when their offensive line was performing extremely well, and this year as well. But when you have the Cleo brothers in there, especially the left tackle Cleo, not playing well, I mean, that's where your problem is. Cam needs time to function. We all know that Cam is very much a guy whose mentality dictates how he's going to play. If he's feeling good, he's going to play well. If he's not feeling good, he's going to play poorly. And so really, they better be hoping to spend some money on the offensive line. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of what they're signaling here with allowing Kelvin to walk, is that being the third-round pick, supposedly, I mean, I think you'd know this better than I would, Voch, is that the next year's offensive line class is pretty solid.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that they're going to be able to get something with a third-round pick?
It's a lot of guys in the draft coming for. But look, if it was me though, if it was GM Voch Lombardi, right, I would want to make a first round move at one of those offensive linemen, right? I think the class for the offensive lineman is really, really, really top heavy, but the bottom of it, like they're not terrible. But man, Connor Williams, man, Quentin Nelson, man, Mike McGuigan, you know what I mean? Like it's really, really top heavy. Mm-hmm. So I would want to be one of those first guys. If you're gonna get an offensive lineman, it's not like a deep offensive lineman class, but it is a really, really good one though. So you just got to pick your spots.
Yeah. All right, cool. So that's just my thoughts about Kelvin. I mean, it's his last year of his contract. If you're going to get something out of him, if you don't think you're going to be able to re-sign him, a 3rd and 7 is better than nothing. Or having to try to franchise him and going into salary cap hell. So that's what I got to say about the Panthers. But, man, the Browns. Mm-hmm. Man, the Browns. True. Guys.
Let's do it.
Damn.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go.
They were celebrating. Did you hear that's why they didn't get the trade off? They were celebrating about getting the trade and then didn't fax it off. It's like Elvis Dumerville all over again. What the fuck's going on? My God.
I didn't know. Time out, because I just kind of, I haven't been looking at my phone because the past 5 or 6 hours I've been busy, so I kind of just been eyeballing it. You mean to tell me the trade didn't go through because they were celebrating the trade and they didn't get the fax off? Yeah,
man. That's what I was listening to on sports radio today. Is that they got the trade off at like 2 or 3 minutes before the deadline. And the Bengals faxed their sheet into the NFL, and then Sashi Brown and Sashi and the rest of those guys were celebrating that they got A.J. McCarron. And I'm going to go into some analysis here with some cold hard numbers for you about why A.J. McCarron's such a beast. but they were celebrating and they didn't send it in, and then all of a sudden it shut down. They didn't get it.
Wow.
And so that's just like one of the most Browns things I've ever seen since it's got to be since that blocked kick last year against the Ravens. It's just so fucking Browns.
Yeah.
But okay,
Brown,
so here's some analysis from this project. One of my major projects I did this off season that I had published about quarterback analysis and about how do we actually identify solid quarterbacks. And so basically, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 different characteristics that you can analyze in college and through the draft process to figure out whether or not a quarterback is going to be a success or failure based on history, based on precedent, and all these other different characteristics. One of the things I pulled from this is that my stats clearly say here that Carson Wentz was going to be an MVP caliber player this year, and lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. It's a whole lot of different stuff. Jared Goff is well recognized here. Deshaun Watson is my top-ranked quarterback according to the stats this year. It's just being a thing. But let's go through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare Deshaun Kaiser to A.J. McCarron, and we're going to talk about whether or not Deshaun Kaiser is actually destined to be a success in the NFL or if he's actually not going.
Okay.
And first of all, before I jump into the rest of this, I want to take a look at the inherent situation the Browns are dealing with. They had this great offensive line free agent class this year, right, Voch? I mean, and PFL was going on fire there, talking about a top 3 offensive line, and even though they've been playing relatively well, hasn't been succeeding. You take a look also at Coel's performance last year. You take 4 of his runs away, with 4 of his super explosive 80-plus yard runs. And these yards per carry average drops into the low 3s. And so I don't really think that Coel was the succeeding factor. Their offensive line is pretty good though, so Kaiser should be playing well, but I think there's something wrong with Kaiser. So let's get into the hard numbers here. So one of my favorite articles I've read into a long time is this thing that says basically if your career completion percentage in college is below 60%, you're far less likely to be a success in the NFL. And if your last year completion percentage was right on 58.5% in college, you're basically going to fail. And there's very little leeway here. Deshaun Kaiser's last year completion percentage is 58.7%. It's really bad. And it means that he makes bad decisions. So when I think the first time I ever called in to your show, Voch, we talked about how Kaiser has slow eyes, and he has this tendency to make bad decisions because he doesn't process things, and it creates issues.
So let me ask you this though. Let me just cut you off and ask this. Do you think, because Kaiser's, let me say the year before, I don't know if it was his junior or sophomore year, he had Will Fuller and CJ Prosise to kind of bump his percentages up a little bit. Last year he didn't have much help, so he had to be the man and kind of create situation on his own. Think that had anything to do with it?
Well, I think that it had something to do with it, but he also had Ronnie Staley that year prior, and so it's going to play into it. But I think that it's on the quarterback in the most important position in the game with a great recruiting class. Let's not forget that Notre Dame is doing extremely well right now with very similar recruiting classes to what they had this couple years prior, and Kaiser couldn't get a cohesive line around there. We were all talking shit on Kelly like he was some kind of inane asshole last year.
He is.
But in reality, it just seems like that there wasn't a lot of performance. Right. You take a look at the percentage of games won by Kaiser. In his 23 starts, he only won 52.2% of his games.
Damn.
That's really bad for an elite tier, type of program like Notre Dame. He should have been doing better. He didn't do better. Damn. And in a lot of these situations, it's not entirely on the quarterback, but it's very much on the quarterback, and that's something that we have to pay attention to here. It's as simple as this. If you have supposedly elite talent coming in, you should be able to always complete more than 60% of your passes in college. And if you take a look at its entire completion rate in college, it's 60.7. That's not enough. But I want to jump over to A.J. McCarron. Now, A.J. McCarron, he's like the flip side. Now we know McCarron played for Alabama. It's the elite organization.
Winner.
They're always going to have the best talent around them. They're always going to win. And that's true. But I think that you can take a look at what their current quarterback is doing as a passer versus what McCarron has done versus what other quarterbacks have done. Now, McCarron started 40 games. That's great. He won 90% of his games. That's exceptional. But it's Alabama. It's to be expected. But really, where the strength comes in is actually his completion rating in college. And we're also going to talk about, I'm going to talk about his NFL success a little bit right after this as well, and my last point on this situation. But he completed 66.9% of his passes for his entire career. Even his shaky first year didn't bring it down that much. But the great news is he got better throughout the course of college. His last year, 67.3% completion. That's elite. That's an elite status according to my statistical model. But beyond that, he has a phenomenal 10-inch hands. That's great. It really allows him to grip the ball well, especially underneath really difficult conditions like they would have had in Cleveland. Furthermore, and quite possibly the most important characteristic of all, is in this model I found that if you have higher than a 3.0 touchdown to interception ratio in college, it makes it extremely likely for you to be a success on the NFL level. He had a 5.13 touchdown interception ratio. That's crazy good, and it really means that he has the right kind of decision making in the pocket, being able to hit his receivers in stride. And yeah, he didn't have to make a lot of crazy decisions because he's at Alabama, but you would think that he, if it was just good enough, he'd be 3, maybe 2.5, but he's above 5. Huge. So on the last, but this is all like hokum until you can do it on the NFL level. And I want to go back to one of the last times AJ started, which was in 2015, and he was the only person to beat the Broncos in 2015 once they started their elite run near the end of the year. He pushed them to overtime, and he actually got them not so much running, but throwing the ball. And so when you're able to go up against elite competition like that, you're able to actually manipulate the field with your eyes, work the field as a solid quarterback can. It works really well. And that's really what McCarron has done time and time again. Every time he's on the field, he's done better. And that's why I was like, I have him a lot of dynasty leagues for this. And so that's why he was going to be so solid. And that's why it's such a disappointment for the Browns. And Sashi's a numbers guy. He knows these things. And I can't believe he let this happen. But what do you think about A.J. McCarron there, about you?
You know what, Adam? This is what I like about you, right? It's a lot of reasons why I like you, right? First of all, you're long-winded. I love it. You bring facts so it fills up, you know what I'm saying? the little situation that you do. And I learn something new every time, man. I personally haven't watched a lot of film on A.J. McCarron, but in my breaking down of quarterbacks in the draft process, it says a lot when you play 3 to 4 years. You know what I mean? Just taking that from college and moving it into the pro level. It says a lot being able to have a job, keep a job, and to win big games. You know what I mean? Plus being accurate, plus the other traits that we look at for quarterbacks. And moving forward into my draft analysis, I'm gonna start to like seniors a bit more, because I was looking at my cornerback breakdowns. Right, a lot of people slept on Trey White, but it's a lot of playing 4 years just does something to you as a player. And I think A.J. McCarron in college, he got that long Alabama career into him, and then so when it's time for him to come out in the draft, man, I know tricks, I know secrets, I've played big games, crowds don't bother me, I can throw accurately, boom, 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 I know what this looks like. It's kind of like in practice when you're the first team and you're playing against the second team or the third team. You want to be able to whoop on the third team so you can know how plays look when they're done correctly. I can say that about A.J. McCarron, because being a winner in college, maybe he just knows how to make this thing shake a little bit moving forward to the league. Now, peep this out. I got a lot of callers lined up, but my next caller is an Eagles fan. So I want to ask you, since you're my fantasy football guy, in the chat box too, is Jay Ajayi top 10, and what do you think about him with the Eagles moving forward? Then I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, so it's kind of tough for Ajayi. I think that he does get a pretty massive boost because he's going straight up a better offensive line, which is first and foremost what a pound-the-ground kind of runner needs. And it's really shitty that Jason Peters is gone for the year. That's the heart of that line. But, I mean, even if you take away the best member of that line, PFF still had the Eagles rated as the number 1 offensive line in the league. I think with the loss of Jason Peters, they still are top 5. With the inability to stack the box that Carson Wentz brings, I think that if Jay Ajayi, this is kind of an if, but I think that by trading for them, they're signaling this. If he can maintain a 15 to 20 carry a game workload in there, he's easily top 10. Also, I mean, you have to think about who is he going up against in that division. He's going up against the Redskins and the Cowboys. and their defenses aren't exceptional at the moment. And he's going to be a substantial part of that offense. And if Carson Wentz can continue to play like he is, I have no reason to believe he won't be a top 10 player. And he's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get. But I think at this point, if you held on to J.J. and didn't trade him, well, this is your reward. So solid on there. And I'm still loving Alshon Jeffrey.
See, when everybody else calls my show, they're callers. When you call in, you're a guest. Peep this out, man. Plug your podcast and tell people where they can find you, because somebody in the chat box wanted to get in touch with you. They wanted to link up and do some podcast work. So plug your stuff.
Right on. So yeah, we're at Fantasy Metrics on Twitter, and Fantasy Metrics Football on Stitcher and iTunes, and you can find my articles on Roto World and Football Diehards. But I primarily post on Roto World. I do a weekly column there, so it's a lot of fun. We always come at you with hard facts and numbers.
That's who calls into my show, man. We got big dogs calling my show. Appreciate it, Adam.
All right, you take it easy, man. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. Man. We got monsters calling my show. And then we got to transition right into Jay from Arizona. What's up, Jay?
How we rolling? Let's go, Mach. You already know.
Comrade Tokyo, Jay, the Eagles fan from Arizona, man. You have the floor. How do you feel about the acquisition of Jay Ajayi to your Eagles?
Bruh, we got the J train joining the Wentz wagon. I don't understand. When I woke up and I first saw this,
that's
man,
corny as shit, but go ahead.
When I first woke up and saw this, I was like, oh, what do we have to give up to get him? I hope it wasn't expensive, or we didn't trade somebody we weren't supposed to trade. A 4th-round pick?
Mm-hmm.
You trade a Pro Bowl running back for a 4th-round pick. I was speechless. Like, such a steal. I know they were talking about they're worried about his knees, but come on, that was one of his that was on his scouting report for college, and that's why he dropped in the draft and during college. It was because of his knees, and he had a monster rookie season and 2016 season, and him coming into a much better offensive line, because the Dolphins' offensive line is terrible, and he doesn't even have to do as much because we're still going to use LeGarrette Blount and a little bit of Wendell Smallwood and Corey Clement. He doesn't have to do as much this season, but like the potential of having him moving forward, this is the best running back we've had. I mean, DeMarco Murray was great. We just didn't use him in the right system. But, like, he's the potential to be the best running back since LaShawn McCoy. Having that with that dynamic offense now with Alshon Jeffrey, Zach Ertz, Nelson Aguilar emerging, with Carson Wentz playing like he is, it's going to be scary for the next couple of years, too. Everybody's young. He's super young. He's only 24. Like, I was speechless when I found out. I don't know what the Dolphins front office is smoking. It's ridiculous. It's going to be fun to watch. And he doesn't have to come back and play this Sunday against Denver. I'm not really worried about Denver the way their quarterback situation's been playing, but like he can come in for a couple carries maybe, but then he has the bye week. Then he can come back prime time to face Dallas. So he's got time. I am so excited. Howie Roseman is a GM god, bro. Like
I don't know how they pulled it off, man, but you know. And it's crazy because a lot of teams are like, hey, where's my team when the damn Dolphins passing out Jay Ajayi for 4th-round picks? You know what I mean? Like that's a cool little deal for anybody. So now moving forward, I mean, we just got to see how he fits within that offense, you know, and you know, if you have him on your fantasy team, you're probably a little excited this morning. You know what I mean? Or if you're an Eagles fan, you're pretty excited this morning. So look, Jay, I'm happy for you as a Cowboys fan. I'm not too excited, but it's something we got to deal with. I'm happy for you. What else you got?
Mm-hmm. I just want to say real quick. I feel like if the Bills were in almost any other division in football, they'd be really scary. They're winning these games that they're not supposed to be winning. And we were talking about it not that long ago. They have so many draft picks that they gave up from the whole, like, Sammy Watkins, that whole deal. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they're a very scary team to look forward. I mean, of course, Tom Brady is Tom Brady and he's still playing, but, like, let's say Tom Brady, he wins Super Bowl or whatever, and this is his last year. The Bills are going to be a scary team moving forward because they have so much talent and they have so many draft picks. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch them play. And one more thing before I get out of here. We were talking about Kirk Cousins going to Arizona possibly yesterday. I have a friend who's an Arizona Cardinals fan, and he was talking about he likes the possibility of he heard through the grapevine about Teddy Bridgewater because he's going to be a free agent coming this season. So I wanted to know how, like, your thoughts on, like, the Jimmy G trade affecting Teddy Bridgewater because he's going to probably be hitting the free agent market, and the Vikings don't want to pay him either. And Arizona was a possible destination that my friend who was, like, a Cardinals guy was talking about, too. So I thought it was interesting, too.
All right, man. Thanks for the call, Comrade Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the whole Teddy Bridgewater thing, I mean, I think the Vikings like Teddy Bridgewater, so I don't necessarily see them making a move to get Teddy up out of there. I think they're just gonna wait until Teddy is healthy. Then they may make a move to get Sam Bradford up out of there. So I don't know. It's a lot of conversation to be had with the whole Teddy Bridgewater thing. They got a bye week coming up. After this bye week, we'll be looking to see what happens. So we'll see. Young Nick Gashler, what's good, bro?
Not much. How are you doing, Voch?
Doski Woski, Peasky Weesky. What you got for the show?
Crazy trade day.
Absolutely.
I didn't expect any of these deals. To happen.
Mm-hmm. Talk to us. What you got?
So I went on. It was the end of first period, and I went on Facebook, and I saw Chris Robbins put up the thing with J.J. getting traded. I didn't think much of it at the time because I knew it was probably going to be a pretty good option for the Eagles, and I had no idea the Dolphins were going to trade them. Like, that came out of nowhere. But it is how it is. I guess they're trying to get a running back in this draft or something else. I honestly don't know. But the thing that shocks me more was the Kelvin Benjamin trade. That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, man. You know, it's it did happen out of nowhere, and a lot of this stuff happens without warning. But I think Benjamin will be fine in Buffalo, man. You know, I think mostly this will be good for Zay Jones moving forward. You know, and you just give Tyrod another weapon to play with. McCoy's there; they're already 5-2. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a lot of good things to be had in Buffalo. As far as Carolina, hey man, we gotta see what happens. We gotta see.
Yeah, I bet they're probably trying to target a wide receiver of some kind in this draft coming up. But they have a lot of other needs that they need to address first, like the offensive tackle. I'd even say defensive end because Julius Peppers is not the guy that he used to be when he was younger in his career. And you may be needing a replacement for Julius Peppers real soon, so I'd say defensive end is a need too. So you just got a lot of stuff going on with Carolina. I don't really think it's that just to get Kelvin Benjamin out of there when you already have other needs.
What do you think about the Jay Ajayi to Philadelphia move?
You know, like I said, when I saw this in the morning, I didn't think much of it. But then when I started to think about it, I was like, whoa. The Dolphins just I saw the Dolphins just traded Jay Ajayi for a fourth-round pick. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that amazes me. A fourth-round pick. Madden wouldn't even let you do that, man. Madden.
Hell no. Hell. And that's the funny thing about it, man. All of these picks were all these trades, man, whether it be Marcel Darius to the Jags, Dwayne Brown to the Seahawks. I mean, all these picks, it wasn't a lot of big moves on both sides. It was just basically teams letting people go and somebody else acquiring, a player or whatever. And it's very interesting how it all turned out.
And with the Browns thing, I thought it was kind of funny because at first I thought the Browns were celebrating enough and they didn't send in the ticket or send in the trade before the deadline hit.
That is hilarious.
But
go ahead.
Mary, or whatever her face is from Cleveland.com, also said that the Browns apparently had a double contract or double signed document, and the Bengals signed it, and they turned it in without the Browns signature.
That's so goddamn funny to me, man. Like, that ain't funny, but man, we just pick on the Browns so much, man. I need some Brown fans to call in. Either that or I'm going to Lombardi's Draft Talk, my Facebook group. I'm going to Lombardi's Draft Talk, and I'm about to chastise the hell out of people. I didn't know that happened, man, because I was chilling with my lady friend, and I was basically just I was reading the updates all day, man, just the Bleacher Report updates. I had no idea that they was trying to pop some bubbly. They just forgot to send the damn fact. That's what you get for trying to damn do the trade so close to the deadline. That's what you get.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn, Brown.
Like with the Benjamin trade, I was sitting in the middle of seventh period, and I got the alert on my phone. I just walked right out, and the teacher was like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "I need a break." And she didn't ask me more questions, but it shocked me so much. I was surprised.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's all I got to ask you. Do you have anything else before I get you on the phone to wrap this thing up?
You know, you made a point about the senior players in this draft class. I think they're a lot better than they were last year. They're going to look at Baker Mayfield. They're going to look at Mason Rudolph and Luke Falk off the top of your head. You also have guys. I have them all written down in my notebook. You have guys from like Iowa's Akron Whaley. Probably nobody's heard of him. He's been making huge waves. You have Mason Cole and a good amount of offensive linemen, Mike McGlinchey. I also heard reports that Connor Williams will not be entering the draft.
Yeah, I saw that. You know what? And it makes me think, man, they must be trying to set up a super class next year because there's a lot of big names this year that aren't allegedly staying in school. And man, you want to just add to the greatness of the class after that because that's the Ed Oliver class. That's the big
Jonah
joint.
Williams.
Yeah, them. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if Connor Williams decides to stay in school, I'd be upset because I feel like the more weeks go by, this draft class loses a lot of steam, man. But
quarterbacks have already lost a lot of steam.
But we got to watch the film, man. We just got to watch the film and see what happens. And I start doing my film analysis in January. So, draft breakdown going out of business. They're going bankrupt. So
That's so stupid.
So we got to figure this thing out, man. I'm gonna be breaking down just the full length videos, and we may have to start watching film without the little GPS beacon. So stay tuned.
Yeah. Also, is JT Barrett good yet?
Hell no, JT Barrett ain't good, Jay. Y'all overreact if you want to that. Now, granted, that's a great college football performance, but JT Barrett is still trash, man.
Yep, I'm doing a film session on him on Friday, so I just want to see if the hype is real. I don't think it is because I remember watching JT Barrett and thinking, oh boy, this kid's gonna be overhyped to high hell, and he's probably gonna go really high, but he doesn't deserve to. He's just another Ohio State quarterback, you know?
He had
Braxton Miller, Cardell Jones.
He had a great quarter, but let's not forget the first damn three. Okay? Let's not forget quarter 1, 2, and 3. I know he had a good fourth quarter, but damn it, you have comebacks for a reason because you were losing.
Yep.
So that is what it is. Nick Gash, that's all you got, man? I'm actually about to just keep you on the phone if you don't mind. You don't mind?
No, that's totally fine.
All right, cool, because I know you don't have nothing else to do. 317, who this?
This is Jalen.
What's up, Jalen? What you got for the show, fam?
Hey, I just want everyone to know who's always talking about this J.J. trade. The Dolphins, I know it looks like they got robbed, but I honestly don't think they did. When something like this happens, there's always something that the other team knows that the other one doesn't, or that nobody else knows. Like, J.J. had knee problems, and he probably still does. Like, I think J.J.'s probably got 2 years left on the wheels, probably, which, I mean, it's going to be good for the next 2 years. The Eagles should be competitive. But, man, that J.J. trade, it looks big, and I think that people think Miami got robbed, but they probably did have to get rid of him. Like, they were running a trade. And, by the way, someone earlier said the Dolphins' O-line is trash. They're not trash by any measure. They're actually a pretty good offensive line, especially when they're healthy.
He didn't say they're trash. He just said the Eagles' line was better.
I'd argue that, hey, that Dolphins line could damn near compete with that line. I mean, I guess they got steroid boy at right tackle. He kind of wins it for the Eagles, but still.
That's how rumors get started. That's how these damn Deshaun Watson fanboys do. They love to drop comments and leave, but they don't want to have no dialogue with me, which are scary asses. Go ahead, finish.
I also got another thing. I want to talk about two draft prospects that nobody gives any respect to. Why the hell do we think Sam Darnold is better than Josh Rosen? Oh, my God, Rosen's arm is so incredible. His mechanics, everything about it. It's so spectacular.
Nick Gashler, do you think Josh Rosen is better than Sam Darnold?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
At this point, yes.
Oh, shit. Let's go. Keep going.
I'm just saying, like, Darnold
the polish
arm.
the polish on Josh Rosen is incredible, and with the mechanics look like he's been doing it since he was goddamn 6 years old. His arm,
That's amazing.
the arm isn't the best, but the thing is, what I see with Josh Rosen, like any quarterback that should be playing a quarterback properly, is when he's pressured, he's going to be forced into throwing really bad situations. But if he is let free and there's no pressure, he's going to make one of the best decisions and make a huge, accurate pass that is going to get them for a first down or a little bit more. That's my thing with Rosen.
Here's my thing about Rosen. I was watching a film session today, and he made some pretty poor decisions, but damn, his arm is so good. He just threw the ball. The defenders just can't touch it. It's like, shit, he threw that ball perfectly. There's nothing you can do about that.
Hold up. Are
Like,
you saying Rosen is better than Darnold, or Darnold is better than Rosen?
Oh, yeah. I think Rosen's better than Darnold.
Okay,
Man,
thank you. We're on the same page here. We're on the same
Because
page.
Darnold, I think he makes plays. You know, like he draws up plays out of nowhere. But the thing is, I'm not in love with his arm. I think he's got about a Watson arm, maybe a little better than that.
Don't you say that.
Like,
Don't you say that.
he's
Sam
got a
Darnold is
Watson
a white.
arm. Sorry.
Don't you, Sam? Don't do that. What'd you say, Nick?
The thing with Sam Darnold is, I think last year he was so spectacular that nobody knew who he was. I mean, until Max Brown got benched, nobody knew who he was. Which means offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, scouts, anybody had no idea who he was. And he started balling out, and they just couldn't stop him. But now they had a whole February, March, April, June, probably till July. So that's a good 5 months of film that you can watch on Sam Darnold and say, all right, he doesn't do this well, so we can expose this in the game when we play them. All right, he doesn't do this well, so we can expose him in the game when we play him. That's the thing with Sam Darnold. He's a one-year wonder.
And my thing about him versus Rosen is just purely, I love Rosen's arm so much more. There's some damn nice throws that I've seen from Darnold that has a great touch on them. But it's other times where it's gotten him in trouble because him and Rosen sometimes make the same decision, but Darnold don't got the arm to fit in that tight-ass window. Like, shit, Rosen just puts it in there. It's like, what the hell?
I'm not really going to get into this shouting match because I haven't really watched the film, and I'm not, I don't work for ESPN. I'm not going to make arguments without, data or whatever. But I will start watching film in January, and I'll sort all of this shit out. So if that's true, I'll be the first one to say it. I just don't know for sure right now.
Hey, my other thing is Christian Kirk is a damn monster, by the way. Fuck, he's like Steve Smith.
Who, Christian?
Christian
Christian Kirk?
Kirk.
Oh, okay.
He
Christian
He's good.
Christian Kirk, yeah. I agree.
They're saying he's 5'11". He looks about 5'9". That's my only issue with him.
My thing about him is I wish Texas A&M wouldn't throw 50 damn wide receiver screens a damn game. Let him run some routes. Damn, he's good. Like he just reminds me of Steve Smith so much. Fierce. He's kind of like Tyreek Hill, but a better receiver. In that kind of facet.
My thing is, if Odell Beckham's college self was related to his pro self, Christian Kirk would be Odell Beckham's college self. Because if you watch Odell in college, that dude is nothing like Odell in the pros. But if you watch Christian Kirk, you go, okay, I can see him turning into that type of player.
Oh, yeah, he's fierce. He's great with
Hopefully
the
not the diva part.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to
Hopefully not the diva part, but...
I just watched the film.
That, man. Odell's an entertainer. Wide receivers are supposed to be the entertainers.
Good point. Speaking of, character and stuff, a lot of people shit on Rosen because of his character, but I was just 2 years old, but I've heard stories about it. Aaron Rodgers' character sucked, and look what he's doing right now. Obviously he's out with a broken collarbone, but
I was 2 years old.
He's been balling out for the last 10 years.
I was 2 years old.
Not everybody is like Andrew Luck, like an all shucks kind of guy. You can't always get that, but
yeah, I feel you. All right, Jalen, appreciate it. Thanks for calling, man.
No problem.
Oh, man, Nick, what was you saying before I hang up on you so I can get ready to go to sleep because I got work in the morning?
Nothing. That's about it.
All right, cool. I like how you did that. Nick Gasher, plug your stuff because the same dude that was asking about Adam's information, he's asking about yours. Plug your website and your YouTube.
It's gdaofficial.com. That's my website. You're going to find a lot of drafts, draft-related topics on Monday, position rankings, prospect rankings, mock drafts, all that good stuff. But on Thursdays, you're going to get a college football preview for the upcoming week. That'll just preview the best games and all that, so make sure to stay tuned for both of those articles. GDAofficial.com, my YouTube channel, posting college film sessions every Friday and possibly Monday. This is GDA Official.
This is my 13-year-old protege, man. I'm telling you. 14-year-old protege. And I'm telling you this, y'all, listen to what I'm saying carefully. He has the best draft content on YouTube until I start doing draft content, if that makes sense. Like, as far as knowledge, as far as getting players right, like, he's working on his video skills and his charisma and his, like, you know, communication and all that. But as far as just scouting, he's probably the best YouTube scout until I start scouting. And then I kick his ass. But until I start doing my draft work in January, Nick Gashler is the guy to go to. And I ain't just saying that because he's my protege. He's my protege for a reason. Take it easy, fam.
All right. Peace out.
Yes, sir. All right. We had a good show. Salute, yeah, bro. Anyone with NFL-related podcasts, Instagram, drop your handle. And I do the same. So Casey Bethea, drop your podcast, man, so everybody can take a listen, man. That's what I do for you, Casey. I could easily ignore you, but that's what I do for you. What I need for y'all to do for me is to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell right next to it so you'll be notified immediately when I drop these live streams randomly in the middle of the week, just like this. I'll probably mingle in the chat box for a little bit, so you can leave if you want. If you want to hang around chat for a little bit, I'll be in the chat box just shooting the shot with y'all, just cooling. And follow me on Twitter, Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. With that being said, y'all hold it down for the Doski. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me wait till Casey Bethea's Instagram pops up on the screen. I see it, but I gotta wait for it to pop up on the screen. Like, it's in the chat box, but I'm just waiting for it. There we go. Instagram at Casey Bethea. There he goes. Go check him out. See what his content is like, and come to me and tell me if he's good. And we'll cross that road whenever we get there. Y'all hold it down for the Doski, Woski, and the Peasky Whiskey. Take it easy, y'all. Peace.